Hello again everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing another success story, the biggest one yet. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to watch the video in its entirety so you don't miss any details that might perhaps pertain to you or pique your interest, and also consider subscribing to the channel. Doing both things will tremendously help out the channel and help out the algorithm and spread it to other people who are looking for the same information you are. As I'm recording this, it's October 7th of 2023, and you can see the date on this letter is October 2nd, 2023. So all these letters are within the last week. We're kind of getting them. To give a little bit of background information, this client had reached out to me, I want to say around April, and kind of told me his situation. And after speaking with him, I kind of found an avenue where it would be advantageous for him to pursue, which he agreed with. And then I prepared the claim. So it's a family of 5. So it's the retired individual. He has 3 children that are younger. I believe that they're all under the age of 16. And then he's also married, and his wife is not currently employed. So she is essentially payable as well, because there's at least one child that's under the age of 16. And for those of you that don't know, there's essentially a mother or a wife's benefit. It's called a few different things, but essentially, if there is a minor child that's under the age of 16, and you're in this case, somebody filed a retirement application, had a child under 16, is also married, and that person is the mother of that child. That's a key detail. And that person is either not working or working under whatever the restriction is, which right now in 2023, I believe the restriction is $21,240. Right? So in her case, she's not working at all, so she can be paid. And there's enough money under the family maximum, which is the maximum amount of money that can be paid under one individual's record. There's enough money to pay essentially those 4 dependents or auxiliaries, whatever term that you want to call them. Okay, so you can see here I've highlighted, it says notice of award. His letter came after the fact, and I'll tell you in just a second here. So his letter is dated October 2nd, 2023, and we're just highlighting that this was his specific claim was for retirement benefits, and we were able to get his month of entitlement to go back to February of 2020. Okay, now remember, he contacted me initially in April of 23. I submitted the package for everybody. It's 5 claims essentially. I want to say at the end of June. Then the middle of July, the technician had explained that she would be approving all of them, which was just fantastic. And then here, it took some time because of the amount. So the total award due, and you can see his amount is kind of relatively high here. The total award due for this family was $190,000 is essentially what they got paid. All right, so him specifically, his total award due was $114,218. And again, that's going from August of 2023 all the way back to February of 2020. And because of his age, he has delayed retirement credits as well. He's past his full retirement age. So he's got some additional benefits in there. So, and you can see too, whenever you see the letter A after the letter identifier, that means it's referring to the primary taxpayer or wage earner, however you want to refer to it as. Now, if we scroll down here to his wife, this is his wife's letter, right? She has the identifier as B2, so that means that she's being paid as a mother of children that are under the age of 16. Okay, and you can see right here, wife's benefits, okay? And again, to be specific, wife's benefits or mother's benefits are not the same as spouse's benefits. So in her case, I believe I want to say in her 40s, maybe 50s now. I can't recall off the top of my head, but somewhere, she's not 62, right? So again, she's not being paid because not just because she's a spouse, but because she is the mother of children who are under the age of 16. So it's like another term that gets used is child in care, right? So all those children live at the house. They live, the whole family lives together. They're married, right? It would be different if let's say the mother or the wife, let's say that she was living away from the children, then she can't be paid. If she's working a full-time position, let's say making $50,000 a year, realistically she can't be paid. Maybe one payment, right? But withholding starts to happen because of your wages at that point. So you can see for her, right, where and again, I think currently his family maximum is somewhere in the 4,000s, right? He was a good wage earner throughout his career, so that's why he has a high monthly amount. Plus, he has delayed retirement credits, and then essentially what's left over after the primary person gets paid, which is totally normal. So you have the family maximum. Out of that, you less what the primary person gets paid, and then whatever's left over can be paid to dependents. So in this case, all the dependents are currently eligible for just under $500 a month. So it puts their total around $4,600. Okay. Now for her, she was paid past due benefits of $19,145. Okay, so you can see it here again, B2. So we're referring to the spouse or the mother. Then lastly, this is the notice of award for the kids, right? The kids' letters, they're all identical, so I just put one letter on here. You can see C3, so C means child, 3 means it's the youngest child would be like C1, the oldest child would be C3 because they're the first that are going to be basically dropping off the letter off the record. So that's why they do it that way. But this is an indicator that there's at least 3 kids, and in this case, I know it's a fact that there's 3 kids. So again, same thing with them. Any dependents that you have, whenever your benefits are effective, their benefits are effective. So going back up to here, his are effective with February of 2020. Everybody was essentially alive during that time and could be paid. It would be like, let's say that there was a kid born after February of 2020. Let's say May of 2020, right? So for Social Security purposes, if that was the case, that means that for the example child born in May, the earliest month of entitlement for that child wouldn't be until June of 2020 because you have to meet all of the criteria for the entire month. So unless the child is born on the 1st or the 2nd, let's say the birthday was May 5th of 2020, the earliest month of entitlement would be June, then payable in July. But had the example child be born on May 1st or 2nd, then the month of entitlement would be May, payable in June, is the way that would work. But all 3 kids were already, at least a couple years old at that point. So all 3 kids, their month of entitlement to benefits is also February of 2020. And then if we scroll down here, I put the X3, but all of them are due the same amount as the spouse as far as back pay and the monthly benefit as well. So that totals, so if you do 19,145 times 3 kids plus the same amount for the spouse plus the primary taxpayer, 114, that puts the total at just over $190,000 in past due benefits. When I submitted their claims, it was more than just submitting the standard claim forms. I did I want to say that my write-up was 5 pages of policy, basically citing where things went wrong, how Social Security, didn't document things the correct way. They didn't send the correct notifications that they should have done. They didn't do their due diligence. And so that created the opportunity to build this argument for them and submit it. And thankfully, the claims technician that reviewed all my information, and I'm sure she ran it by multiple people because of the amount. I had said in my explanation, this is going to be a very high payment. So I had anticipated, multiple levels of review, which essentially do happen. So anytime there's past due benefits that are greater than 10 years or over $100,000, there's multiple people that have to basically sign off on this and approve it, right? And pretty much right off the bat, they approved everything. So that's really the reason why his letter is dated after his spouse's and his children, is because it doesn't go by the total for the family. It goes by the total for the person. So each person, each one of his dependents were only due about $19,000. So that could be processed pretty quickly. Where his, because it's over six figures at this point, there's multiple levels of review that this had to go through, and so his specifically his back pay and his letter came after theirs did, a couple weeks, because essentially like managers had to approve it and things like that. So huge win for this family. Super happy for them. I'm so thankful that not only did everything work out, we didn't have to go through the appeals process. Again, a huge thanks to the claims technician as well, that they were able to accept the policy argument that we made for them, and it was, I felt very confident the whole time. I knew, just in reviewing kind of what happened, that this was going to be more likely than not a success. But how far that it would, I was prepared to go in front of a judge, but thankfully we didn't have to do that and waste realistically a bunch of time. It probably would have been a year or two to get in front of a judge. So again, huge win. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Huge shout out to this client. I'm so happy for them that we were able to get this done. Tremendous win for them, and really for the taxpayer. If you're watching this and you're a taxpayer and I don't want to get political, but let's say that you've been frustrated with government spending, regardless of what administration is in office or in power, as far as your political affiliations, at the end of the day, Social Security, and I've said this thousands of times, at the end of the day, the Social Security Administration is an insurance company, and you pay your premiums through the taxes that come out of your paycheck. That's what that is. This is an insurance policy that you've bought into, and you want to make sure that you get every penny out of it that you put into it, because that's what the law says is supposed to happen. And again, this is a fantastic example of that kind of working out. If this is something that's piquing your interest and you want to kind of dive a little deeper and maybe have a discussion with me, you can set up a free consultation through my website, www.socialbenefitadvisors.com. I believe it's in the About section of my YouTube channel. A good candidate for something like this will be if let's say you're currently married, or maybe you were previously married, whether that marriage ended in divorce or the other person passed away, and out of that couple or ex-couple, whatever it might have been, one of you already filed for Social Security benefits and the other did not. That's really the meat and potatoes of who and how I can help people. So again, if you're somebody who hasn't filed yet, and maybe you have a spouse who has, or you have a previous spouse, maybe they have passed away and you're a survivor, or maybe you're just divorced, but that person already filed, depending on the circumstances and the details of that, there could be an opportunity for you as well. And if it's not, there's still a conversation to be had to come up with a plan or a strategy on how to file, and kind of knowing what all of your options are. I do have that service as well. There's a tremendous amount of people that dive into Social Security, and they're really uncomfortable about the process for a number of reasons. One, they're dealing with the government. Two, they're dealing with kind of like exiting the workforce a lot of times, and maybe moving into a fixed income situation is probably the scariest part of that. So as you exit the workforce, now you're, if you don't qualify for a pension, which a lot of people don't, and they just have like a 401k maybe, or some savings, it can be very nerve-wracking, unsettling, uncomfortable, scary for some people, especially if you're a survivor. If you're a widow or a widower, it can really weigh on you and cause a lot of stress. So that's kind of where I come in, is I explain all the little things, the most frequently asked questions. I give people those answers as it applies directly to them. One thing that I've seen on, especially on like a lot of Facebook groups, is I see where people are giving correct information, but it doesn't apply specifically to whoever asked the question. It doesn't apply specifically to that person, or there's some detail in there, some minor detail that could be overlooked. And then when you contact Social Security, you're left frustrated because you went into it thinking one thing and now it's another. Thank you for watching the video, especially if you watch it in its entirety. If you enjoyed it, you got something out of it, please make sure to give it a like. And if you could, subscribe to the channel and turn on your bell notifications so that you're always notified whenever I'm posting new content. Again, it tremendously helps out the channel whenever you like it, comment, or turn on your notifications or subscribe. It helps the algorithm and push my channel and my videos out to other people who are looking for this same information. And I want to help as many people as I can, as efficiently as I can, and YouTube truly is the best way to do it. So if you're watching this video and you haven't seen any of my other videos, I would recommend going to my channel, and then I try and categorize the playlist based off the subject. So there's, I have a playlist that describes the different types of benefits that Social Security administers, and I dive into the policy a little bit to kind of help you look at, okay, is this me? Maybe it's not. Do I qualify for this, or maybe X, Y, Z? I also have a playlist, I think, on Medicare and the IRMA surcharge. I have a playlist on how to apply for disability. So there's videos where I go over every form that you would have to fill out. That way you can take your time, make sure that you're getting, you understand what's being asked of you, which is a huge thing. Because Social Security is not going to sit there. Realistically, they're not going to sit there and take the time to explain every question with you. And I believe there's a video on the earnings test. So I can't remember if I have one on disability, but I certainly have one on like retirement and spouses benefits, things like that. So go check it out if you're interested. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your bell notifications so that you're always notified whenever I'm posting new content. If you have a question or want me to cover another topic, please leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to address it as soon as possible. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.